Wednesday afternoon, and one of the great races in the racing calendar is the Queen Mother Champion Chase. And what a race we've got this year. We were denied this in the Arkle last year, but hopefully we're going to see the showdown in the Queen Mother this year. And Shishkin takes on Energumene. A show of betting, Shishkin slightly odds against 11-10 favourite, Energumene 9-4, Chacun 9, Nube Negra 9, Granatine 10 bar. Should we waste any time on the others, or should we just get stuck straight into the front two?
Well, we've done that. We've done that in the past, and
well, I'll be in the others camp, but I'll let Davey bat first with the front two.
Well, Davey, tell me which one's got the nicest backside, because you followed them both home a few times.
Not something I was paying a whole lot of attention to.
We'll do that in the parade ring instead.
Yeah. So I just have a huge scraw for Shishkin, Nicky Henderson. You know, he's just a fabulous horse. He's for me, he lights me up. You know, from an outside, from a horse or a race that may not be involved in. I just love watching Shishkin. He's a fantastic horse. Energumene is that kind of a horse that, you know, it's all there, it's all on show, but we haven't seen the big clash yet. So that's why I'd be siding with Shishkin until he gets dethroned. I'd be on his side.
I'm 100% with you. I think the 11-10 now, I think that would be sure to come the day. I don't think you need to be rushing out to taking 11-10 2 months in advance, but I just think if you're looking on the day, I think he's absolutely exceptional, Shishkin. Bill, come on, you're looking at, I think it's a lovely each way race.
Yeah, I mean, you've got two exceptional horses at the top. Shishkin.
We've both got to get there.
Yeah, both got to get there. Shishkin 10 from 11. On the rules, Energumene 7 from 8. I mean, they've both been beaten, but they've had kind of mishaps and whatever.
Bill, before you say it, I'm looking at it and I can't find it.
Okay, I'm going to say it to you. It is, and you're going to think I'm mad, but it is actually Nube Negra, the Skelton horse. And the key to this horse is fresh. And Nube Negra, if you watch last year's race, he sprawled at the last, and if he hadn't sprawled at last, shoulda, coulda, if whatever, he would have gone very close to winning it, and he just didn't put the kettle on in that run on his reappearance this season when he won at Cheltenham. He stays really well. He was the strongest finisher in last year's race. You could put a line through the run at Sandown behind Granatine. It came too soon. It was weeks away, 3 weeks after his win at Cheltenham in November. They put him away. He's going to go to Cheltenham fresh. So there's no run, there's no prep. He'll be primed for this from the Skeltons. Whether he's good enough to beat the front two, I don't know. But he's a really good each way bet at around 12. There might be a very small field here. If those two turn up, you're going to get a 6-7 runner race.
And guaranteed runners is often the play here.
Yeah,
100%. The price. And you'd have to think it's the most clear as daylight that this is his target, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And the thing I like about Nube Negra is that if you watch last year's race, the harder they went, the better he travelled. It was really weird. He did it against Altior when he won the Desert Orchid a couple of years ago. When he travelled, no one could believe what they were watching when he was just travelling all over the winner. And in last year's race, he travelled all over behind them, and there was Chacun under pressure. There were good horses around him struggling, and he travelled really well. And when you get matchups like these, like Energumene and Shishkin, if they get racing too early, which is Energumene style anyway, he might travel like a dream behind them, and just there may be something to pick up at the end. And I just think he's a good each way bet at 12. I love the front two. I think they're really, kind of what I would call Hall of Famers. They could be real icons of the sport going forward. So you're taking on very good horses. But just the way the race could shape up, a fresh horse like Nube Negra on the back of a break, I think he's a good each way bet at 12, and I think he could cause a shock.
And Bill, how many has to run in this for the first 3?
8. There needs to be 8 runners, and I can't see there being 8 on the day. If those two turn up, I think they get skipped off.
It's a bit like your success story with Defi DeSoy a couple of years ago, Bill.
What was
Which of the top 2 do you feel would suffer? Do you know what I mean? For him to get to, which you would say you're saying he may finish second.
Yeah, I think the most likely one I'd like to take on of the front two would be Energumene, because he's got no Cheltenham experience. Shishkin is fairly bomb-proof. I just think the way that if Energumene goes very hard and tries to run the finish out of Shishkin, all I'm saying is that those two might get racing a long way out. I just love a horse that can travel in behind. I'm not saying he might be in a different postcode behind them. That's the other thing. But if he's within touching distance, you know, it's the perfect Davy Russell ride, because if you can stalk them, you can pick something up at the end. Maybe if they go too hard at it, and there's just a danger that Energumene might try to run the finish or get Shishkin to hit that flat spot and try and get him in trouble. And if he doesn't, and Shishkin draws alongside, and they have a bit of a duel coming down to the second last rather than the last, who knows what will be there to be picked up after last. I just think he's an each way play at 12.
Paul Maloney would have been your man for the prize money. That's it. Gents, that's the Queen Mother. Shishkin for me and Davey. Nube and Negra each way for Bill. Thanks for your time, gents.